Alright, so you bought a gun. Right on. I'm gonna ask you the same question I ask all my friends that have bought guns recently. Why? And the reason I'm asking you that is most people are gonna say for self-defense. And I don't think very many people actually take the time to really think about that and really think about what that means. And I know a majority of them, even if they go, all right, that means I'm going to defend myself and I'm going to have to kill another human being. I don't think they've thought that through um, and on a deep level because I'm going to tell you right now what your mind says is justified and okay, and what your soul says is justified and okay is not always the same thing. There's a price you're gonna pay. And you need to come to terms with that. There are consequences for shooting another person, regardless of what they were doing. There are legal consequences, there are financial consequences, and there are spiritual consequences for that act. And no one um, skates through, no one gets by, no one gets out of it. You're going to pay on some level. And you need to work through this stuff um, now. You need to think about it now. You need to get deep about it now um, so that it doesn't get in your way. It should not get in your way, and it should not be a thought that goes through your head when you're in the middle of a situation. Um, so you need to sit down and you need to really think about this. Can I take a human life? If you haven't thought about that, um, you're wrong. So, um, come to terms with those things. Come to terms with the fact that you might go to jail. Um, come to terms with the fact that other people might not see you as justified. Um, you know, pulling the trigger is the easy part, though, and a lot of people get hung up on that. Um, you don't want to be in a situation where you confront someone with a gun and you're not willing to pull the trigger because you're not going to scare them away if you don't have some type of resolve. If you've already thought this through and you have resolve, uh, they're going to know. People are going to pick up on that. And, you know, there is a natural aversion to killing other people, other humans. And some people can get around that and some people can work through it. Um, but it's there, and you need to mentally prepare yourself for that. And you need to mentally prepare yourself for the situations you could find yourself in. And and I tell people, go through the scenarios in your head over and over and imagine yourself winning. And imagine yourself getting jacked up and still winning. Um, it's important that your brain doesn't have just draw a blank when you run into a situation where you're trying to save your life or the life of your family. It needs to go, oh, well, we were going over a similar situation, so we'll do this. It's going to save seconds, and those seconds are going to save your life. Uh, physically, you need to train with that gun. Um, if you're new to guns, you're going to be scared of that gun. There's going to be a little bit of healthy fear, and that's fine. And you should be, somewhat fearful of it because of the power and the damage it can do. And that will go away the more you work with it. The more you work with it, the more comfortable you get, it will turn into a healthy respect. And you should always have that healthy respect. That should never go away. Um, and just know that, especially with the pistol, you got to put in work. And you have to put in work to maintain it. That's just the reality of it. If you bought a gun and you think you can just throw it in your safe and that's that, and if you're ever in a situation, you're well prepared because you have that gun, you've done yourself a great disservice. And you need to um, get off your ass and put some effort into this, because if you think you're just going to rise to the occasion and magically win, and you're going to just, luck is going to be on your side, cool. But I ain't putting my life into the hands of luck. I put a little bit of effort in at the longest in a weekly basis, but I try to put a little effort in every day. And even if it's just 5 minutes of dry firing. Um, so there you go. You need to physically and mentally train, and you need to really do some soul searching. A guy could come into your house and let rounds off, and you put him down, and you're like, but he shot at me, like I had no choice. And you could still, on a spiritual level, on an emotional level, have damage from that. You know, that's just the reality of it. Sometimes it goes that way, sometimes it don't. And so there's an aftermath to that. Soon as you pull that trigger, there are consequences. Prepare yourself for that. If you cared enough about your family or yourself to go purchase a gun, then, you know, do the work, put the work in. Because if you think, you're going to buy gear, and gear is going to what saves you, gear is going to win the fight for you, nah. There's that old man, the guys were breaking in to his basement, and they come up and they kick the door in, and he's got a 22 rifle. He didn't have some high speed, low drag AR. He had a 22, and he friggin' just made it happen. So, you know, I can't stress that enough. I'm just gonna talk in circles at this point. So, come to terms with the consequences of, having to take, someone's life to save your own, basically. So, I'm out.